If I had to start completely over from scratch in 2025, no clients, no audience, no connections, these are the 3 steps that I would use to get from point A to point Z. No business to a flourishing business. And they're actually the steps that I'm using right now to build this personal brand where you're watching this video at. So first, let's talk about content creation. So content creation is something I'm sure everybody out here has heard about, and it is extremely popular. Even people like Gary Vee say you should treat your business like it is a media company. What does that mean? Well, it means that you're a media company first and you detail cars second, re-roof houses second, whatever it is. The point that he's trying to make is that if you create an ecosystem around your own business, a community, if you will, what is going to happen is people are going to be very affectionate towards you. They're going to like you, they're going to like your business. And if you can show people that you're a good person and that you're doing what you think is best and you want to help people and you want to, just get your core messaging out there. And you're not going to take advantage of people, all this stuff. That's kind of the idea that you want to roll out, is let people get to know you. Because whenever people think of a company or they think of something like a corporation, the first thing that people think about is, oh, they just want money. They'll screw me over in a heartbeat if it means they get paid, right? That's the idea that people think whenever they think corporation, company, business, all of this. So the goal is to humanize your company by actually sharing information about yourself or testimonials, things of that nature. And so this content creation is more of what I call a farming strat whenever it comes to digital marketing, right? Farming is you're planting the seeds today, you're watering them tomorrow, you're nurturing, and then you're going to harvest down the road. Now, this method, content creation, is the strongest way to build a community. It's the strongest way to build leads. It's the strongest way to build fans and people who will refer a business to you constantly because you take care of them, right? You've shown them that you're human. You're helping them without expecting anything in return. And if they do go deeper with you, if they do buy your ebook or take your ebook, your free ebook offer, or whatever lead magnet you use, video course, masterclass, checklist, whatever it is, if they do take that and go deeper with you, that's a great sign. And if they go from that point and they buy with you, that's an even better sign. You've now just got a customer. But the whole point is to give value without expecting anything in return. And I know that that's kind of an odd concept. I mean, you're a business, you have to make money, right? But at the end of the day, you will make money. You're building a community of people who are interested in your thing, or people who need the problem that you solve. And people absolutely love it whenever people just aren't greedy. Whenever people are, hey, I would love to help you with this. It's a small thing. Or let's say that you're an electrician and, you have 2 options. You can either drive out to this person's house, they give you a call and they explain their problem and you're like, okay, well, their breaker flipped or whatever, like their breaker, it just flipped off. And so your thought is, okay, I can either drive out to this person's house, flip it and charge them $60, or I can just make a video about it. If this happened at your house, this is how you solve it. You know what I mean? And then that shows up in search because you're sharing information that people are interested in. Hey, my lights are out in this room, this room, and this room, but the rest of the house is fine. Like, what's happening? Right? And then as an electrician, you can come in and say, hey, here's what's happening. This is all it is. This is how you fix it. Right? You may lose a little bit of money up front, but the next time somebody thinks about that, the next time somebody actually needs an electrician, you're the person that they're going to think about. You're the person they're going to go to. So you're kind of sacrificing these smaller jobs in exchange for getting those bigger, higher paying jobs. So examples of the farming strategy that I'm talking about here are posts on YouTube, email newsletters, things of that nature. The goal here is long-term brand growth. It's going to start slow and then it's going to ramp up. Whereas if you start with something like ads, which is step 3, what is going to happen is you're just going to have a flat line. You know what I mean? Not a flat line necessarily, but that line's going to stay the same. It's going to be higher than 0, but it's going to stay the same based on the amount of money you put in. So if you put in $10 today, you're going to get 10 leads. 10 years from now, if you put in $10, you're still going to get that same amount of reach, kind of a thing. Platform dependent, because right, Facebook and stuff, they raise prices and whatnot. But the idea is you're putting $10 in and you're going to get the same output today, tomorrow, next week, a month from now. so on and so forth. But that's why content creation, you start lower than you would in ads, but you ramp up way, way, way higher. And you build a community around it, which is how you build trust. And so people are going to do business with people they know, like, and trust. That's kind of the three key pillars of business right there. So while content does build trust, you also want to have the next step in place, and you want to do step 2 shortly after starting step 1. So in this case, we're posting on social media, we're creating content, videos just like this one, text posts, whatever it is out there. You want to create kind of an offer, something that gets people to go from we're consuming your content on social media, maybe they have a like, maybe they followed you, maybe they've subscribe to your YouTube channel, whatever it is, that is a great step in the right direction, but we want to take it one step further, and we want to offer them something that is called a lead magnet. And the way that we do this is we create a landing page that houses our lead magnet. So our lead magnet is just an ebook, a video, a course, whatever it is, anything you can think of that you can give away to somebody for them to go, oh yeah, I would love to have this thing. You know, whatever it is, it can have a really high value, it can have a low value. It can be 20% off of your order on our coffee shop, you know, whatever it is. Something that will actually get people to say, I wouldn't mind that. And what they're going to do is they're going to go to your landing page. They're going to click on the button that says, you know, get my ebook now. And then it's going to pop up a form. They're going to give you their name, email address, phone number. They submit that. And then what happens is you deliver that ebook, whether it's on the next page, which is called the thank you page, or whether you email it to them. Either way, you're delivering value to these people. Now, what's happening whenever somebody actually hits that form submit? 2 things happen. One is you now have their email address. You now have their phone number, so you can reach out to them. They're now a lead. They may be a cold lead or a colder lead than you would like. They would still be considered a warm lead, right? Because they've had a touch point with you and they've actually signed up for something. So they've made the first move, which is perfect. So they become a lead. So you now are able to market to them if you want through their inbox. So what I typically do in this situation is the second thing, and that is I kick off a workflow. Now a workflow is perfect because all it does is just whatever you tell it to do. And I know that may seem confusing, but it can create them as a create them as a contact in your CRM. It can add a tag to them so you know where they came from, whether it's an ad or whether it's your website or a funnel or a specific offer, anything like that. You can tag them so you can organize them. And then 3, you can actually have it send you an internal notification. Hey, Jack just signed up for the 100 plus lessons ebook. So you might want to shoot Jack an email and just say, hey, thank you for checking out the ebook or whatever it is. And then the next thing that happens is it sends Jack that email. And Jack gets an email that gives him that ebook. It says, thank you so much. Here's my story. Here's what I'm about. And you kind of start telling your story. And then you kind of leave it on a cliffhanger. You wouldn't believe what happened after that. I'll tell you next week. Look for my email that's titled the coolest thing ever, you know, whatever it is. And then they open that email and it ends on a cliffhanger. And you kind of do that a couple times until you tell your story. You want to get people engaged. And by doing that, by the way, I've actually done this in a 5 email workflow. Whenever people get my ebook, which we'll talk about here in just a second, but whenever they get that initial email from me, the welcome email that contains the book or whatever they just gave me their name, email address, and phone number for, that first email has such a high open rate. Mine actually has a 112% open rate because people go back and check it. They want to see the book, they go back, click on the email, it opens up, they click the book, and they're gone again. You know what I mean? Like they're reading the book. And so that first email is your hook. If you can hook somebody, in that first email, they will start opening your subsequent emails. So I have that first one that does 112, which is astronomical, 112% that is, open rate. And then the next one's like 80. And then the one after that's like 75. And then the one after that's like 65. You know, you're slowly going down, but at the same time, you're telling a story. You're talking to people. You're kind of sharing your story, what you're about, what you want to do, your goals, ambitions, your values, your morals with these people. And it's just a really good way to kind of funnel people down to giving them some kind of offer, whether that's a course or whatever else, like a paid offer. You know, I want to consult for you. I'm going to coach you in your business, $200 a month. when you buy right now, or $400 a month down the road. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. You're kind of leading up to that. By the way, I know I mentioned this just a second ago, but I do have an ebook that is completely free. You can find it in the first link in the description down below this video. And that ebook is 100 plus lessons I personally have learned in my journey as an entrepreneur over the past 10 years. I have spent a lot of money. I have made a lot of mistakes learning the things that I know now. And so if you want to get ahead and you want to avoid some of those things, whether you are 16 years old and you want to be an entrepreneur someday, you just started your entrepreneurial journey, or you've had your business for the past 5 years, I promise if you go check that book out, you're going to learn something. So again, check it out, completely free, description down below. Enjoy. Okay, so once your content and funnel are working, you can decide when you want to make this next step and when you want to actually activate ads. So this doesn't have to start with a huge budget. You're not spending $1,000 a month or something like that on ads. Typically what I personally do, and you can start even lower if you really want to, but I pay about $300 a month for ads whenever I first start a business or whenever I first start working with a business. The reason why is because that $300, which is about $10 per day in ad spend, is amazing whenever it comes to actually being able to test the waters in an area or a specific industry, right? So we're doing Facebook ads. We target Joplin, Missouri. That's where I'm at. And we're trying to see if we can get people interested about our new coffee shop. You know, we give a 20% off coupon or whatever this thing is that we want to do, whatever our lead magnet is, right? Ebook, blah, 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 all that stuff. We're giving that away in ads now. And keep in mind, you can create a completely separate lead magnet from when you're doing content to when you're doing ads. So let me give you a really simple example. We do one right now that has worked exceptionally well. It is a website giveaway funnel, and our ads feed that funnel. So basically the idea behind it is we offer everybody who signs up a chance to win a completely free website. We build your website. We do one giveaway every 90 days, right? At the end of that 90 days, we pick one winner out of all the people who sign up and we build their website, and we do it completely for free. And then we do the same thing the next 90 days. So our ads talk about that exact thing. We talk about, hey, if you want to win a completely free website, all you have to do is sign up right here and you'll be entered to win. And then what we say is once they go to that page, they sign up and now they're, right, remember, they're in our workflow and now we've captured them as a lead. So now what we want them to do is, hey, we'll give you an extra 5 entries if you book a call with us. We just want to talk to you, you know, something like that. It doesn't have to be salesy, and you can even say that in your email saying, hey, we'll give you 5 extra entries. We just want to talk to you and just have a conversation, completely free, no obligation strategy call for your business, just to talk about things. And truthfully, whenever we get on that call, that is exactly what it is. We don't try to sell anybody. We just talk to people and we just try to help them and we just give them advice and information. 9 times out of 10, people say, oh, a funnel, that's amazing. Or, oh, you know, I could use some content creation for my business. I can see how that would move the needle. Would you be able to do it? You know, and so they let them take the first steps a lot of the time, and it feels a lot better for the customer in that situation. But you have to keep in mind here, whenever we're running that website giveaway ad, what's happening is hundreds of people are signing up. So our email list is growing by hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. But at the end of the day, only one person wins. That means we have 500 people who are now qualified leads, or to some extent qualified leads if we have a survey or something else in there. What is your business? What do they do? You know, stuff like that. So now we have a bunch of leads that we can actually reach out to, call, nurture with our content. So we can actually send them our content. Hey, you know, new subscriber that came in from the ad. Did you know that we also talked about how to make a content creation plan or how to never run out of video ideas again? It's over here on our YouTube channel. You can go check it out, right? So we're kind of cross-pollinating. So once those 3 pieces are in place and they're all running, you are going to be absolutely unstoppable. And the whole idea behind it is you're doing content creation because maybe you have a day job or something like that. So you don't need money right this second. Your bills are covered, whatnot. So you have content creation into a funnel. And then after you get your funnel set up, you can do another funnel for your ad and then launch your ad, right? The first 2 are the biggest pieces of the puzzle, and content creation is going to be the biggest hurdle to overcome because it's such a slow burn. So many people get into content creation. I don't know what to do. I want to learn everything there is. I want to do everything there is. You know, there's just so many rabbit holes to get lost in. And then before you know it, it's 6 months later and you've not even posted a video or anything. And so just focus on content creation first, then do funnels, and then work on ads. And if you need money, reverse the system. Ads first into funnels, and then content creation once you have a sustainable income coming. Not to mention, if you have extra money, hiring people to help you with your content creation, editors, people who video for you, things like that, or even a completely different studio that will actually handle all of your content creation for you is a viable solution for a lot of people out there. And that's actually something that we handle for a lot of our clients. So if you're building something new, or you're starting a new business this year, or you've been running your business for the past couple of years, I want to hear about it. So please let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to talk to you guys about it and just get to know some of you guys who are watching this video. I really appreciate you guys, and make sure to subscribe for more videos just like this one. My goal is to help 10,000 people make a full-time living online, doing what they love. Also, if you want to hear a really cool story, I will put a thumbnail on screen right now. Just click on that. This story is super cool. It's actually kind of a small world story is what I would explain it as. It'll blow your mind. It'll give you chills, I promise you. Check it out. Much love and peace.